Hi and welcome to the latest edition of Derby Business TV. I'm Yvonne Gorman, and today we're going to be looking at Derby Arena launch. It's well and truly open for business now, and the Derby Business TV team were there last night interviewing the dignitaries and getting the first impressions of the new fantastic facilities over there on Pride Park in Derby. So over to them now.
I'm so excited that the day has finally come after a number of years of hard work, getting the planning permission, making sure that we've got the building right, making sure that we accommodated all the needs that we wanted for sport in the city. And here we are finally, this magnificent stadium that hundreds of thousands of people will use each and every year for probably the next century.
I think it's vital. At the moment we've got velodromes like this all over the country apart from in the Midlands, so cycling is huge at the moment with the success we've had. So just so people can come along here, have a go at track cycling, learn the skills of cycling, but more importantly, inspire that next generation to come through and our next Olympic medalists.
It is wonderful, and I think it looks great from outside, but when you come in here, it's breathtaking. I mean, what a huge space, great facilities. It's super for the community of Derby.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. You hear about the legacy from the London 2012 Games, and we've got a velodrome in London, which is fantastic. But to have this on our doorstep here in Derby it's only can be great for the city, great for the talent that we have within the cycling community, but also the local community that just want to generally just exercise.
This is really putting us on the map completely against Manchester, London, etc. Absolutely fabulous.
Exciting times.
Extremely exciting. Another step up, another leap up for Derby and Derbyshire.
One of the things that I think has been evident right across the Derby community of late is the way everybody's pulling together to try and be ambitious for the future of the city, to keep that strong sense of community that we have, and to be ambitious for the city itself and for its people. And that's absolutely a shared goal with the business community, and I think they will look at this and think, yes, that investment has paid off, and that really is putting Derby where it ought to be in the spotlight.
Earlier this week, Derby Business TV team interviewed Chief Executive for Derby County, Sam Rush, and he discussed his vision for the club and season ticket sales. Over to the team.
In 2013, we're around about 14,000 season ticket sales, and which are still very good for a second-tier football club. But now we're at the 22,000 mark. We've just finished with an 18,500 in our early bird season tickets, which is up nearly 25% from last year. So attendance is now, I think they're averaging 29,000, touching 30,000. I would expect for all the final games at the iPro to be north of 30,000, which is again, it's several thousand more than our competitors. And I think you always have to look at your market whenever you're comparing. So in everything that you do in the championship, for a club to be regularly getting 30,000 is extraordinary, really. September 2012 was when I think I was announced to join the ownership group and then to come to the club in the new year. I think we were sort of 20th or so in the second tier of English football. We'd been average 15th really for 4 or 5 years, but I felt there was just so much more that could happen at the club. I thought the biggest thing first of all was we needed to connect with our supporter base and connect with our community. Had a difficult season in the Premier League, and really apart from that hadn't been at the top table for a decade. And as a result of that, the fan base had become a bit disconnected. I think the performance levels, it's always very tough when you're seeing people around you doing well, coming in and out of the Premier League being the big story. And for Derby were missing out, and 4 or 5 seasons of difficult times. And they were difficult because I think when you come out of the Premier League in the way in which we did, you're going to take you some time to bounce back. So for me it was an opportunity to sit down, look at the various things that make a football club work well, but most importantly, let's get this club back to be the centre of its community, where local Derby people who are passionate about their football club now feel back connected. And so that was the first thing we wanted to do, was to get the club back and get it central to its community. And then from there, people then are willing and behind you as you look to grow and look to develop the club and to get really the most important thing, which is the products on the field, to be of the highest standard. And that's really how we've moved. Get ourselves connected with the community and then address the products on the field. And those two things together can then help to drive the revenue, drive the broadcast rights, get the business community then really on side, and you've got all the different ingredients that work to make a successful football club.
Well, I'm now delighted to be joined by Ian Hodgkinson from Hodgkinson Builders. Ian, the budget really did focus a whole raft of initiatives that are going to be good for enterprise, but specifically thinking about the construction sector and building. What were the key highlights for you?
The key highlight for me was really the housing zones. It's a great initiative that the government's going to give us 200 million, and not me personally, but the construction industry as a whole. Where we get preferred lending rates, we will get funding that we can hang on to, and it'll put us into a situation where it's investment in city areas, and Derby thankfully is one of those areas. We will also get technical advice and preferred planning as well for those housing zones. Derby is in need of some serious help with housing. Just in the next few years, we've got to find 10,000 houses. So it is an important zone to be in.
And a couple of the other initiatives that the Chancellor announced, I believe, buy-to-let, there's some new initiatives on buy-to-let, as well as savings to help first-time buyers really get on the ladder.
In the previous budgets, the help to buy has been great for us. It really started the building industry going for us. But the initiative I really like is for the youngsters, that they've got a help to save for a deposit for a new house. So as they save money, the government pitches some money in. I think it's something like, if they save £12,000, the government will put in £3,000. Absolutely brilliant, fantastic. It will help them with the deposits.
We sat down, and part of some of the challenges that we saw were that people probably didn't totally understand, all the different things and the challenges that we've got at the football club and what we're trying to do, and maybe some of the trust element had gone.